Hello, 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 and welcome to the daily Black and Orange Daily Astrology and Tarot here on the Black and Orange channel. Yeah. Anyway, I'm here every single day of the year, and I'm not kidding. Over 6 years, every day. Hi. You have a community here every day. But I'm here every day to take your political questions out of the chat. Just leave your questions in the chat before I come on. We have epic troll slayers. Thank you so much for being here, for helping and making this a safe community, because we have a great community here. We really do. People are so kind to each other, so kind to me. Thank you. And if you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed here. I timestamp them as I go, so you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed, or whatever works for you. Hello, Casey. Oh, thank you. So, oh my gosh, we've got a lot to cover today, including we're going to have a little look-see, because don't tell anybody, but right around April 17th, April 18th, Trump's astrology chart looks really bad. Really bad. We'll get there. All right, we'll get there. Also, we are going to be covering what's going on with Iran. And I think, was there something here about Mark Wayne? Yes, there is, from Neti. Question about Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne Mullins. I figured out what it is about his name that does weird things to my brain. Mark Wayne. Because the way that so many people say it, Mark Wayne. This morning, my brain finally connected the dots and put it into my conscious mind. It reminds me of Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, Shaka Khan. Shaka Khan, let me rock you, Shaka Khan. Let me rock you, that's all I want to do. Yeah, that, Mark Wayne. Mark Wayne. You big jerk, when I look at you, I get a sick feeling inside. Bum, bum. Anyway, so we're going to get there too. All right. At 3 minutes, 15 seconds. Oh boy. All right. We're going to start with the news right now, and then we'll talk about April 17th for President Big Jerk. Anyway, Canadian Poodle Mom. I think Sebastian is composing a new song. I don't, but the only thing is I don't do songs that sound like other songs specifically, but I don't know, I should. Yeah. Grace is saying that Black Threads calls him Mark Quain. What was up here? Oh, here we go. There it is. Julie's Mark Quain. Yes. All right. 4 minutes, 20 seconds in. Did I just hear a kitty jump down? Yes, I did. He's headed for the buffet. All right. So, dumpster fire. Both Cosmic, Goat Lady, and Mare were both asking this morning about President Dumpster Fire, and saying that President Dum Dum is doing so many unpredictable things, like lifting sanctions on Iranian and Russian oil. Okay. I can't get over this one. We just okay. you put our military in the Middle East. You, along with Israel, sent missiles to attack Iran, and you took out their previous leader and did a whole bunch of damage. And so they have the day after, there was reportedly significant talks in moving forward for a new deal that would limit Iran's development of a nuclear weapon. And you just went, nah, psych, boom. And you did that, and then they've been retaliating. So we're in a war. We're in a war now. They didn't fire the first shot. You did. So we're in a war, and they have killed some of our people. And bless our service people. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. And so, because you're freaking out that the price of oil is going up, duh, you have lifted sanctions on the oil of the country you attacked, so they make more money. So they can buy more bombs? So they can... One of these days, seriously, trying to follow this man's train of thought every day, it's like I get on a Mobius strip every single day. Anyway, Sharon says, okay, Otto, my lips are sealed. I won't tell anyone on that side. His personal astrologer can do, what was that? Can do the honors. There we go. So, have I lost people? Because they're just, everybody's suddenly talking about other things in the news. I know I've lost you guys when suddenly everybody else is talking about every other kind of story. Just like, okay, fine. Anyway, like lifting sanctions on Iranian and Russian oil. Then he said that he was going to, if you have 48 hours, where is it? You have 48 hours. And after that, who knows what evil will befall you. And okay, there's the thing where he was saying that the Democratic Party are worse than Iran. Get stuffed. I don't have a screenshot of the Truth Social post, unfortunately. But I do have an image that the Iranians are putting on their BOMBS, whatever, we'll just say that. Share screen. So in Iran, they are putting, it's hard to see, but they're putting this on the bombs. Yes. If you can't read it, or you can't see it, that is President Dum Dum hitchhiking, but he's holding a sign that says in big letters, "Help me, open Hormuz." And at the bottom, the only thing I can really read at the bottom, it says #stupid Trump. And they'll have more bombs because you lifted sanctions against their oil. Okay. Fine. Anyway. Flowers. There we go. All right. So he said, that's it. 24 hours. That's the end of it. That's all. You have 48 hours. And after that, we're going to start throwing the BOMBS at your infrastructure, which is a war crime. And so, oh my gosh, Julie says, you are keeping me positive. I fractured both ankles and fractured knee. I just keep telling myself, as Autumn says, there are good days ahead. Oh, big hug. Oh, big hug, Julie, you poor thing. Oh, I'm sorry. Man, I hope you get better soon. Okay. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So he said Trump put out a lying social post and said in 48 hours, we'll send the thing against you. We'll commit these war crimes in 48 hours if you don't blah, 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 blah.
Chicken taco, always chickens out. Chicken taco, bluster and then doubt. Convict, criminal, felon, con, commander in teeth and spawn. Big mouth, small heart, full of bluff. When the heat is on, he's never tough. Con man, huckster, robber too. Scoundrel, swindler, through and through. 34 frauds, 6 bankruptcies, cheat, crook, shyster, he's all sleaze. 2 weeks, the time of make-believe. When it's hard, he leaves. A gross, disgusting skis. This would be king of thieves.
Right. So, yeah, he basically just chickened out and said, and I quote, this I can quote, that they, at least I think I can, there have been discussions. And Iran has the U.S. will postpone further strikes on the Iranian energy infrastructure because there's been progress with the talks. And Iran has said, what? No, there haven't. So Chicken Taco, who always chickens out. Look, I'm not saying he should have committed war crimes. I'm just saying bluster and then doubt. It's a load of hogwash from beginning to end. Raymond says Trump lies about lying. Yes, he does. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Annie. The song is on the channel. There's a playlist with the, 4 songs I've made? Songs for Democrats, I call it. So. Okay, so. Karen says, sorry, the chat is like herding 100 feral cats in an elevator today. But I'm just so grateful you're here. All right, Dum Dum. Is there a plan? Any plan? I mean, okay, look. We knew that he thought dealing with Iran would be exactly like dealing with Venezuela, even though his general said, ew, no. He went ahead with it anyway, expecting it was going to be just like Venezuela. And it wasn't. And now, what's What's the plan, President? Sorry, it should be President Dimwit. Tam is saying he's manipulating the markets. I think somebody else did earlier too. I'm so sorry. I missed it. Hello, lucky girl. Jennifer says, he's all emotion and zero planning. That's true. Poodle Mom saying he's like Donald Duck, painting himself into a corner. Yeah. You might want to read the screen. Anyway, there is so little here. All this worry, getting power to Democrats. Disappointment. Yeah, this hasn't helped your numbers. It isn't like rally around the president and the flag. Oh my gosh, what was that? And then I've got chaos, but sitting pretty. He is fine. His cronies are fine. Hi. Okay, hang on. If you just move here for just 1 second, I can fold this in half. Wait. All right, if I do this, I can go like this, and go like this, and then you can get on here, and I can cover you up. Okay? There you go, because you are the precious. There you go, precious. Okay. Hopefully he will be okay now. All right. So he is so out of his depth. I cannot express to you how much this man is out of his depth. Kitty burrito time, exactly, B. Smith. Cat, the wild cat wrangler, says, cute kitty, instant distraction. He should have tried kitties. I'm glad he didn't, to be honest. Maria says, Boo Boo can't take doofus's lies. Yes, that's, yeah, he's incapable of feeling closeness the way we do. He can't. He does not have the capability. So TC is saying, unfortunately, the stock market believes Dumpster has talked to Iran about stopping the war. Oh, my sweet summer Wall Street children. Yes, the way he cried, though, it was like, I know, right? So, thank you, Nancy. Is there a plan? Oh, actually, let's go on to the 18 at 1820. 1820. Trump says he's had productive talks with Iran. Iran says they haven't spoken to him, but that he's scared of their threats to take out all power plants in West Asia. And the big stickers on the sides of the BOMBSs. Yes. Iran then started posting the stickers. He talked to a former president as well. Trump said, there are videos you can watch. Trump said he spoke to a former president who said, I wish I had bombed Iran. I'm glad you're doing this. I wish I had bombed Iran. So journalists went and talked to all 4 living former presidents, each one who said, no, we haven't talked. Until somebody figured out Trump himself is a former president, technically, so he was talking to himself. Yeah. He spoke with 45, exactly, Sharon. Old Silver, yes. 47 talked to 45. He said, I'm a very bright boy. He said, he's my best friend. Oh boy. Okay. Card for the reading is the Tower. This is not good. This is not going well. And he still says he and the Pentagon and Pretty Pete Keg's Breath, they want their $200 billion to continue the war. Yeah, I don't think I don't think that's going to happen. I think that's empowering the Democrats. And now, has he already sent over 2,000 Marines to the area? Yeah. But you need Republican support. Page of Cups. This is a toddle for the Democrats. This is no on so many levels that. But yeah, you need to go. You need to convince the traitors in Congress who support you. Ooh. Visualize 70 wants to know, was the former president a former president of the Idiot Society? Yes. By the way, someone in the comments yesterday was saying that they were offended by that I am disrespectful of the people of UK because I say bad things about the monarchy. Couple of points. One, it's the people, it's individuals I have problems with. I don't like Charles. I don't like him. I don't like Trump. I don't like Charles. I dislike one of them far more than the other, but not particularly fond of either. Two, I'm American. We fought a war. We're not big on monarchy, but you do you. And I was married to an Englishman for 20 years. I went to a British school. Matter of fact, I have quite the little weird coincidence I can share with you. And Sarah, by the way, Sarah's children they have dual citizenship between the US and the UK. So her own children have dual citizenship in the UK. So yeah, no. Anyway. All right. So what's going to happen here is there any, because Shannon was asking after this, who might be a negotiator to end the war? Oman, Qatar, Egypt, somebody, because right now, all that is happening, all that's happening right now is just continued awfulness. Trump lying, and his videos are AI. Heavily AI, by the way. Not as heavily AI as Neti Yahoo, but burden. Our service people we have service people who are no longer with us because of you, President. Page of Cups. Yeah, this is just bad. There's no plan. There's nothing there. There's nothing. So we go to Shannon's question at 24 minutes in. Who could negotiate? Is there somebody who could negotiate? Oman, Qatar, Egypt, aliens, ghosts, disco snails. I'm not picky. There's somebody who can stop the war. Jennifer says chaos is his oxygen. Oh yeah, he has Uranus conjunct his sun and his north node. They're all up there together. So his very sense of self. When he was asked why he sleeps with so many of his friends' wives, he got kind of an evil glint in his eye and said, because it's wrong. That's Uranus conjunct Sun and North Node when you take the low road, which he always does. right, so who's got something? Somebody? It might actually be, there might be somebody on our side of things that can actually talk to dumpster fire. Trump cares about what's happening to he doesn't so much care what's happening to us on this level. We're the pores. We don't. Ew. He cares about the gas companies. Oh, and trust me, they're in his ear. The economy not looking good, which is bad for business. The burden he has started. I do have someone coming forward, but this feels like it's, I don't know if it's someone from Europe. I don't know if it's somebody, but it's somebody. There's somebody making, or maybe he just uses it as an excuse because they're going to Trump the man. And talking about how isolated he is. Somebody's good at manipulating him. Then again, it's not that hard to manipulate a narcissist. Most of us just wouldn't bother. So I understand, Coral. I saw it. Thank you. You're just isolated, you poor thing. Just more and more isolated, and it's just getting worse and worse. Appealing to him. Oh, not Miller. No, Amy. No. This is somebody who has who is not all evil. Yes, Denise, from Rahazi, he just gave gas companies free oil because of the war, the price per barrel. Yep, just here. Yeah. Oh, Miller definitely manipulates him, but Miller doesn't have to manipulate him much. Honestly, doesn't really have to. They are, two oxen pulling the plow in the exact same direction. It's people from other countries who have learned to give him giant gold crowns as presents, and here, have a medal because you're the best, and the Pierce the Peace Prize that we just made up, and oh, here's a #1 medal because you're the best ever. That kind of garbage. I couldn't do it with a straight face, but it's to stop. It's to give him an out. As a matter of fact, I have not been able to find that social media post I saw, which was an actual video of, has anybody else seen it? A leader in the EU, in Europe, who was talking and answering questions and all of this. And it looked like it was like a conference room or something, but somebody in the press said, why don't you just tell Donald Trump that you'll help him with Iran if the US does all of these things to help Ukraine. And the EU leader, whoever it was, just sat there for a second and kind of blinked twice and said, that's a really good idea. I'm going to talk to my people after this. Thank you. That's a really good idea. So it was Finland. Thank you, Karen. If it was Finland. Finland. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. Yeah. Did you see it? Yeah, okay, there's this military stuff going on. And yeah, I keep getting cups. Changing things, new plan. It's not barely worth the paper it's printed on, but new plan. So that's what I'm getting. All right. So yeah, yeah. Somebody's gonna manipulate him or manage to talk to him or if you do this, you'll look big and strong. Yes, Visualize 70. Here, with tears in my eyes, Trump, have this 5,000 IQ certificate award. You're so brilliant. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Sorry. Debbie says, analyst, I heard a report on this thing. The Finland PM is already talking about this tactic. Okay. Oh, I know. People are upset about the Supreme Court, but we can... I've got my questions for today. We're already halfway through the show, and we have a lot to cover. But I'm literally here every day. So if you throw that stuff in the chat before I come on tomorrow, we will look at it. So, yes, it's disappointing, but we'll look at it tomorrow. Okay. All right. At 31:30. Squeeble says, I'm convinced at 31:45. Squeebles says, I'm convinced that Neti Yahoo is no longer here, or let's just say deeply sleeping. And yeah, the most recent videos, every one of them is AI. Yes, very much so. So, I'll look again. I'll throw 3 cards on it. Hey, baby, are you in the land of the living, or have you moved on? Because it's very, yes, exactly, Sharon. The big sleep. Raymond Chandler. I loved all those old movies and those books. Old Source says, they sure are pumping out the propaganda proof of life. Oh, yeah. And it's as fake as a $3 bill. That's odd. All right, I've got the Emperor card just sitting here. Here, have some AI videos. Here, have a thing. Here, have a huge emotional thing happening that changes the course. Feeling very, very much on the defensive. Page of Cups. 10 of... You notice how we went from Ace of Pentacles, which is a big thing. We go to Ace of Cups, which is big emotion. We go to Major Arcana change. And then we get Minor Arcana struggling and sitting pretty. And that is odd. So, are you coming back? Medical. Big deal. Disease out in the cold. Or done. Little match girl. I don't get anything good here about him. I don't. So, TC says, I'm totally convinced that when Besant was called out of the interview, he found out the bad news about Netanyahu. It's very possible. I was thinking that too. Raymond says TSA, thousands standing around. This is ridiculous, but it just feels like whatever the burden of this charade is, it just feels like it's going to go on for a while. I just keep life just going on. So make of that what you will. Elflower 1 star says many are canceling their flights. Oh yeah. There was I don't know what happened. I thought I had a question about this whole TSA thing. Let's have a quick look. 3610, because I thought I had one. Because when I came on, there was someone who was kind enough in the chat. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I don't remember who said it. But was saying that ICE agents are running, they don't want to do the TSA job because they're getting photographed. You know, if you think about it, this would be a way to get part of what the Democrats want, which is ICE agents who have to show who they are. Thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you. Really helps. Thank you. Yes, Cookie. The citizens are posting faces of ICE. Yes. Citizens posting like it's a calendar. The faces of ICE. Only it's not cute. Yeah. ICE at TSA. There you go. Let's have a look. So how's this going to go? Mess is not sexy like a fireman. Exactly. Not going to lie, I did see a calendar once of well, I won't go into all that. I didn't buy one, whatever. I'm not going to go into it, but I didn't buy it. But I did. There was one. One of the pictures. It was, you know, safe for work, but it was still. I was like, okay. Anyway, had to do with books. Anyway, so citizens posting faces of these jerks. TSA and ICE. What could go wrong? Cat Mom says, I made my Sagittarian sister promise not to fly right now. Did you hold her down? Did you tie her to a chair? Stop a Sagittarian from traveling. Whew. I joke. I have a Sagittarius stellium, but my father's Sagittarian. And yeah. Yeah, when the lockdown hit in 2020, it was my mom and I just looked at each other and it was like, there's no way he's going to stay home. There's just no way. We just instantly knew. Oh dear. This is all major arcana. I was kind of hoping the ICE at TSA would. On the far right, they love this idea that it'll be easier to catch people who don't belong here. ICE using it as working with TSA as an excuse. Blah 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 blah. So that's what Trump and his ilk are thinking. The reality. Tower, star, sun. I don't want this to be a big deal. I don't want this to be a big deal. I don't want big deal. I don't want your big deal cards. Take them back. Take them back. Oh. What does the sun mean? That's what I'm trying to get clarity on, because I'm concerned. But let me double check. Imelda said Sagittarian sister and Sagittarian cousin always traveling. Yeah. Overstepping their authority. There are already people waiting 5 hours in line to go through TSA. Over 5 hours in line. And it should be just law enforcement keeping us safe in the airports. Instead, I've got ICE and their awfulness. It isn't even their biggest trait, because they've unalived the Caucasian American citizens too. Doesn't matter. Just bullying and bullying and bullying and being awful, because they're awful people. Hanged man, it's not good. Refusal to listen to any entreaties or anything that would show any kindness, following, people's rights, honoring people's rights to, and then running to the Republicans, like trying to protect this awfulness. I've got this. This will end badly. This will end badly. Warrior Witch says Sag and Scorpio are such an interesting, dark, and jolly combo. I'm sorry. Scorpio with a huge Sagittarius stellium. That is hysterical. That got me. Thank you. Yes, Amanda says I think ICE at the airports is going to open a lot of people's eyes. Yes, going to open everyone's eyes. Yeah. And Kelpie says the whole issue of paying ICE that's keeping TSA from being paid. Yes, that's the other mess. Phew. Elflower One Star says ICE agents have no experience at the airports. Right. Old Silver says, I don't think it's going to work except for being bad for the airline businesses. Well, that's what I'm getting. I wish I had better news, but I know some people have to travel, but if you don't have to, I wouldn't, but I understand. All right. TC Borg says, I read an article, Homan, who's not human, Homan said they were just going to be checking papers. Well, how does that help? That doesn't help with the TSA. Canadian Poodle Mom says current wait times at the Houston airport is 210 minutes. If ICE is there, they're not doing a good job. I think someone say that they starting in Atlanta? Ugh. Yeah, Sharon, papers, please. Yes, and the training. There's that too. All right. Well, we're almost at 45 minutes in, which might be a good time for me to show you. Let's look at Donald Trump's chart for April 17th, because it might not go so well. There are a lot of astrologers talking about April being really tough because, you know how we've all been a bit grumpy over the last few days? I've never had this much trouble with comments and miscommunication, and people just, like my sister. This is like when I was a kid. My sister, my middle sister, two of three. I'm three of three. Two of three. One of the church's favorite songs to play at the end of Mass. They play the same song almost always on the way out the door, and she was, she's a kid too, and so she would change the lyrics. So she should sing, "Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with her." That's what it's been like dealing with everybody. Anyway, so there's this pile on of Aries energy. Ding. Yeah, I was showing you guys that 3 days ago, Aries, the sun, the wartime king, the sun, moved into Aries. The moon at the time was in Aries. It's moved on, but it'll be back. Neptune is there. Venus is there. Saturn is there. Neptune is there. I know. So, yeah, there's a whole lot of Aries energy. Hello, Mars. How you doing? And Mars and Mercury and Mars are still in Pisces, but they're on their way. So Aries energy is very much energy of the pioneering, cross the, the pioneer days in the wagon crossing where there are no roads and it's dangerous, and that pioneering spirit, but also by Mars, which is the soldier. So there's a battlefield energy. There's a crossing the dangerous plains to build a new life, bravery. This is Aries energy. And when you're dealing with Mars, it's always about taking action, moving. Sometimes leaping before you look. Well, I bring all that up because it's not going to get easier or better come April. All right, dumpster fire. I don't have a full graphic, but I do have the chart. So by April, let me share this. By April 17th, Mark Wayne, let me rock you. Okay. This is Dumpster Fire's chart, and these are the transits for that day. And if you don't know astrology, you don't need to worry. I'm gonna walk you through some of this. I have notes. What you can see over there at about, if this was a clock face, over around 2 o'clock, there's a red symbol that it's ram's horns. It's a ram's head with horns. So that symbol over there around 2 o'clock, that's Aries, symbol for Aries. And then beyond that, or right there, you have a whole bunch of stuff. A whole bunch of red squiggles, symbols up there, right? Are we on the same page? Okay, that's not everything, but practically, yeah, that's a huge chunk of stuff all in one sign. So that's a lot. That's a lot. It's a lot of Aries energy. Now, it's going to fall because this is based on Trump's chart. Trump's chart is in blue, the center circle. So the blue circle, the blue things, that's Trump's chart. And then on the outer, that's in red, that's the transits. That's where the planets will be in the sky on the 17th. So I am telling you that because, let me walk you through my notes. One of the big things is going to be actually if there's a clock face, look at noon, straight up noon. You got that symbol at the top. It looks like an H with a little drop down like Christmas ornament in the middle. That's Herschel, which is the man who discovered Uranus. So the symbol is his. So we've got Uranus, and it is way up there. And on this date, it will be at that tense 90-degree aspect with right here at what would be 9 o'clock on a clock face. That's Trump's ascendant, how he presents himself, what he looks like. It also has to do with the first house, which is right beneath that, which is the wedge right beneath this, which is your personal body. And then he also has his Mars right there, and both of those are in Leo, which is why he puts gold everywhere. Gold here, gold there, gold there, gold there. So that Uranus is unexpected energy. It's bolts out of the blue. On the high side, it can be technology. It can be strokes of genius, but we know that's not going to happen. So, yes, a lot in his 8th house. So that the tightest effect, aspect in this chart is going to be that Uranus squaring his ascendant. His public role, career, reputation, up there, being disrupted suddenly and without warning. No time for, yes, Julie, gold even on his skin. Yes, exactly. But Uranus doesn't tell you what it's going to do ahead of time. It disrupts. It can disrupt. It can crack the ground open because it's hitting this ascendant in an irritating way. It's not just what happens. Something that happens. It just doesn't just happen to him. It changes how people see him. The mask shifting. Something about his public presentation stops working the way it has. There's his Uranus at the top. Wow. Yeah. Cindy, yes. J for genius. Not. So some other things that are happening, just a couple other things that are happening. Saturn, which is, well, anyway, I can't really, like I said, I can't reach over to show you. Saturn is squaring his Mercury. So Saturn, we know Saturn in the sky is all about the receipts. It's all about Saturn is up at the top over there, the ditch digger, the receipts, or over here, it's in the middle on the right over there, the ditch digger, the quartermaster, you will work hard. This is the reckoning. That's Saturn and Aries energy, and that is going to be at odds, irritating Trump's what he says and how he says it, which could mean potentially some accountability, because that's one thing Saturn brings. So how he processes and communicates, well, Saturn's going to square that. Yikes. So what he says, being weighed, measured, found wanting. Legal language, contractual consequences, charges, gag orders. Saturn square Mercury is your words have consequences. And it's applying, which means the pressure is building, not releasing. There'll be a new moon conjunct Chiron, trining his ascendant as well. Trines feel easy, but with Chiron, it means wounds surface without resistance. He can't block it. Old vulnerabilities just become visible. And that particular, where is it? I'm in the wrong paragraph. Sorry, I looked away for a second and I came back and where was I? Anyway, so yeah. Okay. So, and that's moving into his 9th house, which is legal stuff, but we'll see. So also, a couple more things. Mars in the sky, over there in Aries, is going to be opposite Trump's Neptune, which is down here at about, 8 o'clock? If it was a clock face? The trident down here. So they're opposite. So they've got that push-pull, up-down. So Mars opposite NATO adds confusion and aggression. Yikes. He may act on bad information, or his own deceptions get blown open by someone else's aggressive mood. There's fog around the narrative that clears at the worst possible moment for him. And Jupiter, the thing that looks like a number 4 at about 10 o'clock in red here. That's a symbol for Jupiter. It's in Cancer in his 12th house, squaring that red line that goes straight down, squaring the 4 down there, the Jupiter in his own chart. And Jupiter is expansive and lucky and optimistic, and it can be a bit of a blowhard, but it's big. And but if the one in the sky is squaring, irritating the one in your chart, especially if the one in the sky is sitting in your 12th house of institutional forces working behind the scenes, hidden enemies, self-undoing. Jupiter expands whatever it touches. Square to natal Jupiter is classic overreach. Classic and big overreach. Oh, thank you. So you put it together, and I'm not the only astrologer talking about this, that all of that energy sitting in his 8th house of that wedge up there, that's the 8th house, which is the house of Scorpio, which is, if you'll excuse the term, sex, death, and taxes. It's transformative, but it's also, remember I was talking about how each of the signs, so each of these wedges is like a setting, has its own setting. Well, Scorpio, you can think of it like a film noir. It's not light and fluffy. It digs down deep. And that's a whole lot of stress on a man who is not well. Oh, Grace, thank you. Gifted 10 memberships to random people in the chat. Thank you. Thank you. Poodle Mom says, is there anything in the chart that indicates he can't slither out? The Saturn grinding up against his Mercury, his words, because Saturn has no patience for Saturn has no patience when it squares something. I will say one thing that isn't listed here, but that I'm looking at right now. There is something, right? It's kind of hard to see, but do you see amongst the red and the blue lines, there's this green line that goes from, I'd say, about like 2 o'clock to about 9 o'clock. Do you see that? That, right? Let me see, can I put this one from here to here? This is pulling on like Neptune over here, saying that it's very just past being, it's called inconjunct. There's another word for it, but I don't use it. But inconjunct, which is two things that are they don't mesh. They're aware of each other, and I'm not saying that I just find that inconjuncts, I'm not saying that they unmoor that whatever they're aspecting from the rest of the chart, but there's this sort of feeling that like his Mars is nearby, probably too far to be affected. But like if it was in conjunct, if it was Neptune, that fog in conjunct his Mars, that would be his Mars. There's something, it being weakened by fog, almost like pulled up, not fully pulled out, but like pulled slightly out, like a spark plug that you pulled just a tiny bit out. So there's that's going to happen as well. If you add all of this stuff up, it does not bode well for him. The middle of April is not going to be easy on anyone, just so you know. You will hear a lot more doom and gloom from some other astrologers that I don't buy into. We've made it this far. We could go down the list of all the things we made it through. But mid-April is going to be rough with all of that Aries energy. And if you think people have been crabby for a couple of days here, wait until Mars is in its own sign. Because in mid-April, you're going to have, I'll just go in a row. Neptune, Mercury, Mars, Saturn, Chiron, Sun, and the Moon will have just moved one tick. Maybe like an hour earlier, it'll still be in there too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 6. I did this for a random time that day. So earlier in the day, six things, including both luminaries in Aries. That's a lot of get up and go energy, but it's also a whole lot of aggression can be good and aggression can be bad. Well, this is just a whole lot of aggression. So how you choose to use it, this would be a good time, even before then, between now and then, to take up a hobby that involves movement, like dancing, or getting back to your walking routine, or your running routine, or your something. There's going to be a whole lot of energy that says move. So that is something you should keep in mind. But it's all, it's not great for him. So Canadian Poodle Mom says, good thing I started working with a personal trainer. There you go. Yes. What, does this have effect on war? Probably. And when Mars moves into its own sign, we know from experience that when planets move into their own sign, they kind of let it all hang out. So, is this the right thing? Yes. Sometimes it can be a bit much. So, Jolie says motivation is one thing, aggression is another animal altogether. Yeah. So, we're going to have to make friends with Mars here. For now. For a number of months. And especially next month in April. And some people like that, some people don't. It's, we all have affinities with various planets. You would think I would have some affinity with Mars because it was the traditional ruler of Scorpio. Before Pluto took over. It rules Aries, but Mars in my chart has always been a mixed bag. That's the focal point of a T-square in my chart. So there's a lot of energy, tense energy always going through that and setting off this whole thing. Anyway, so when Saturn went over my T-square with Mars at the focal point where the energy dumps out, that's when I got my first herniated disc, because Saturn constriction over Mars action. Ouch. Still dealing with that. So anyway, Mars is how you take action, and there's going to be a lot of this energy. So breathe, have some tea, just know what's happening. It will help you a lot to know what's happening in the sky. Yeah. Lewis says, that's a lot of gold. Did Dumpy dress him? No, it's just how the image came out. It is a lot of gold. The key thing, though, is actually the red. That's the color of Mars. It's red. Gosh, I can't imagine why. So anyway, that is going to do it for me for today. I stayed over a little bit because I wanted to go over that with you. And just know what's happening. It's a lot easier to deal with it. And we're going to get through this. I'm serious. So TJ says, no jumping around for you. Yeah, really. I need to work on my core, actually. Strengthen my core to help support my back. I'll get on that. So that will do it for me for today. But it is 1:19 p.m. here in Chicago. I stayed over extra at 3 o'clock. So about an hour and 40 minutes, I will be over on the Creative Sprints channel. You're always welcome. Being productive. And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow. Please remember, you are not alone. We are in this together. There are good days ahead. All right. So hang in there. And as always, I will see you later. Okay. Thank you. Bye. Oh, M. Kelby says planks are good for core training. Yeah. Help. All right. I'll see you later. Medic.